The Giants, they finally won, ended a nine-game losing streak, ended an even longer losing streak on the road, and they win 34 to 10 out in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Some fans are going to be happy about the win. Some are going to be disappointed because they wanted them to lose. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to do it with a host from WFAN, the one and only Danielle McCartan joins me now. Danielle, how was your Christmas holiday? How's everything going?
Yeah, all good. I was kind of in charge of Christmas this year. My mom unfortunately broke her ankle, so
Oh,
it was good. It was good. I managed, and that's the most important thing.
there you go. You managed and you held it down for the holiday. The Giants, they held it down today. They got themselves a good victory. This is a game that was dubbed the Tank Bowl, Danielle. The Giants, they could have locked up the number one pick had they lost this game, but the Giants, they ended their road losing streak, which was at 13 games away from MetLife Stadium that they had lost. But we know this, Danielle. Players don't care about tanking, right? They don't care about the draft picks. So, how good was this win for the Giants team as they move ahead and the calendar is about to turn in a couple of days to 2026? Good was this win for them to get out in Las Vegas?
Yeah, on the national network over the weekend, I was calling it the toilet bowl as well. I mean, look, count me in the minority with those players and with those coaches. I mean, they're all playing for something, and I can't stand the tank. Like, you have a rookie quarterback that's still trying to prove himself. You've got an interim head coach who still might be looking for a job, not with the Giants. I'm sure we'll get to that. But looking for a job in the league. So the Giants were coming into this, in my opinion, without the tank mentality whatsoever at all. And I look at this and I'm not worried about having number two overall. I'm sure Joe Shane's phone is already ringing, and I bet you that. And like I said, they've got a rookie quarterback. He's still developing, and that's what the rest of this season is really all about. Jackson Dart is the future of this team, and you want to see him grind out a road victory. You want to see him mature and take that next step. And I liked some of what I saw, a lot of what I saw today. Communications with the wide receivers on the field between plays, pointing and all that. Drawing the Raiders off sides, 4th and 1, just outside the red zone in the Raiders building. Building that camaraderie with the receivers. So, he still needs to be spoken to about sliding, but that's going to have to be the next head coach's job. And, look, I know it was the Raiders, but the
Right.
Giants team today, they look prepared. They look energized. And, I hate the tank. And I know I'm in the minority, but I'm happy with what happened today in the
All
desert.
right. So happy with the Giants getting that win 34 to 10 over the Raiders out there in Vegas. Now, you mentioned that, look, a couple of things. One, yes, the opponent was the Raiders, and they are not a good football team either right now. But the Giants did do some things good in this game. I thought they played good, well, at least, if you want to say in all three phases of the game, which you want to see from a football team. Again, I know it's the Raiders, but out of the things they did good in all three phases, what impressed you the most in this game, Danielle?
Yeah, right. Everything in perspective. And we're not going and saying the Giants, you and I are going to win the Super Bowl, and all that.
Right.
But look, everything in perspective. All three phases played well. But if I had to choose, A, B, or C, Dexter, I'm going to say the defense in particular, the
Wow.
secondary. I mean, the secondary stepped up. You know that this is a unit I had like this much confidence, zero confidence in
Yeah.
going into the season. Less as the season went along. And, today they look good. I mean, how much did terrible Geno Smith have a hand in that? Perspective, but an interception's an interception. Dane Belton jumped the route. That looked great. That electric pick six for Deontay Banks. The Raiders just scored right in front of them a few plays before that. I thought that was cool. And don't forget that Brian Burns has climbed up the Giants leaderboard a little bit, tied JPP's season sack record. Um, Geno Smith sacked 3 times in the game. So I think the defense finally like played a good game, something I've been looking for the whole season. But again, I know perspective, but the defense looked good today, and I'm encouraged by it.
Yeah, no, you have gotten on the defense all season long, and they had some
Yep.
very positive moments today. Even Abdul Carter, who's been playing well over his last three games, he looked good again
Yep.
today. So it's encouraging for the Giants. Now, you mentioned the next head coach. You kind of went where I thought you might go because it should be noted, Mike Kafka, he
Yeah.
got his first win as an NFL head coach. So salute to him that he got that. But with one game left here in the season, has Kafka shown you that he should be or has any reason to be the future head coach of this team as they move forward in 2026?
No, the answer is no. And before we start clapping, and let me grab the bottle of champagne and pop it. I mean, look, I want the Giants fans to think about the fact that this game is probably one Brian Daboll could have definitely won for this team too. Again, the Raiders are the worst team in the league. So when I look at Mike Kafka and assessing what he can he be the coach moving forward for this team, I mean, you've seen regression from the rookie quarterback since Brian Daboll was fired. I mean, Mike Kafka has had plenty of time to build a relationship with him, to work to develop him. And then you add in some questionable situational calls by Mike Kafka here and there, and I just seen enough of him. I mean, I want someone to come in here to hold these players accountable, to empower that next generation of leaders inside that locker room, and to coach up that nice young core, Dart and Scat and Neighbors and Carter and Thibodeau. So to borrow a line from my girl Ariana Grande, thank you, next.
Yeah. On to the next one. To quote the great
Yeah,
Jay-Z, there we will
that's
say
right.
that that's where Danielle is on that. But the Giants, good vibes for them in their penultimate game of the season, 34 to 10 victory over the Raiders out in Las Vegas. One of the rare times this season Danielle and I have been able to talk after the Giants won a game. It's only their third
Well, look at
win
that.
of the season. So some good vibes. Finally, Danielle, appreciate the time. Thank you. Have yourself a wonderful new year, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, and that's the gift that the Raiders are, one of those teams. So it's a good way to end 2025, I'd say, for the Giants. So Dexter, to you, Happy New Year, and we'll talk in 2026.
We shall do that. Thank you.